Hello, everyone. Hope you had an amazing Christmas. I hope it was everything that you wanted it to be. Um, want to chat a little bit about my take on this modern era beast system. It's what we call money, the monetary system. And I want to outline this as clearly as I can, and I hope this video brings you a lot of value and understanding as to the nature of the war, what's causing so much global friction, where we're headed. Uh, I want to outline kind of the beast system, and then I want to hopefully give some hope at the end as to how it's going to be brought down and what it's going to be replaced with. But let's talk about money for just a second. First of all, we have to understand that right now we live in a world of fake money. It does not exist. It basically is a construct in our mind. We've been programmed to accept fiat money, which has an intrinsic value of zero. It's worth nothing. It costs nothing for the central bankers of the world to just introduce money into the system. It used to be a little bit of the cost of ink and paper to print something on a physical currency. Now it's just a digit on a computer screen. I mean, 97% of the money in this world is digital. It doesn't cost anything. So let's think about that for a second. If fake money costs zero to produce, the value of it is basically zero. We go to work 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and basically we're paid a value of zero. I mean, it really doesn't cost anyone anything to pay us what they print out of thin air. So our labor is therefore free for those that create the money. I wish it stopped there, but it doesn't. So we give away our life, we give away our time, our efforts, our talents, our blessings, our treasures, our creativity, and they provide us something that costs them absolutely nothing to produce. If it stopped there, that would be one thing, but it doesn't. On top of this, them giving us something that they create out of thin air, they then take away or they add a debt to the nothing that they gave us for our effort. They take away by taxation. They take away through theft called inflation. They take away through debt and interest being charged on the thing that cost them nothing to produce and nothing to generate, but yet charges 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% on something that cost them nothing to produce. So think about this. To make one matter worse, they then have us go and consume assets, homes, cars, land, property, stocks, and register those assets. Registration, regis means king. When we go and we register our houses, our cars, and our property and our land, we're transferring title of ownership to the king, the Crown Corporation. So we worked for free. They gave us something that cost them nothing, and then the negatives start piling up to put us into slavery. Inflation, taxation, regulation, registration, interest. This entire system is the beast system. We constantly have on the forefront of our mind and in our hands the thought of money. Do I have enough? Am I going to make enough? Is it diversified enough? How much can I afford? Are they going to take it away? Are they going to steal it from me? Are they going to sue me? This entire construct of living and constantly thinking from a mindset of scarcity, from a standpoint of ignorance, because we've not been trained what money is and what property is and what value is. We just kind of accept what we're told and we go along. I find it unbelievably noteworthy to consider that the law book, the Bible, the number one topic, money, materialism, more than any other topic, more than 40% of the law book is about money. The teachings of its danger, the teachings of what it's supposed to be, And then you look at our society, and we are largely a financially ignorant society. Why would the number one most topical issue in the Bible be money, with its dangers and its usage and the thing? Money requires us to worship it. The only thing other than God that requires our time and attention and constant focus and constant love and lust and misuse and management and thought and diversification and tax minimization and all the things that we do. We live our lives thinking that money, 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 money. The more money, the more happiness. Yet we're a financially ignorant society. We don't understand it. Is that by design or is that by accident? How in the world can it possibly be that the number one most topical thing in the law book is money, and yet we go through 12 or 16 years of formal government training and don't know a damn thing about money? We don't know guns and butter. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know what its use case is. We don't know why it was created in the first place. We just accept what we accept because that's the way the system is designed. They don't want us to understand how the game is played and how the wool is pulled over our eyes. So the narrative is one massive lie. That's the beast system. It's what we were born into it. Trust and tradition, we accepted it. So we are labor harvested slaves trained to give our working lives to central bankers and governments. They give us nothing plus debt, plus liabilities, plus basically chains. And if we question, object, look for an alternative, we're domestic terrorists, we're radicals, we're breaking the narrative, we're conspiracy theorists, and we have to be censored and silenced. Because the last thing the people that created this modern era beast system want is massive understanding that it's one big fraud. So how do we fix this? How do we get out of this? Well, the good news is there is a way out, and this is what the war is all about. Number one is inflation. Inflation dies with sound money. When we have collateral like gold or silver that can't be just produced into the ether sphere with a click of a button, basically inflation goes away. It goes to almost zero. The number one theft of our lives and our lifestyle and our ability to accumulate wealth is the invisible tax called inflation. When we go from fiat money to sound money, we get rid of inflation and we get rid of that theft. Number two, registration. Instead of registering all our property, in essence, through trickeration of admiralty law and our lack of understanding how these contracts work, when we go to common law, we get rid of the registration process and we no longer transfer our homes and our cars and our property, our titles, our stocks and our bonds and our assets to the king, the City of London, the Crown Corporation. We get to keep it, and then we get to pass it on to our offspring and our great-grandchildren. Taxation. Taxation is just a modern-day theft. We're supposed to have unalienable rights. We're not supposed to be taxed. The government is supposed to work for us, not us work for the government. When we can get taxation down to a very low, flat number, a minimal number, our country operated without an income tax from its birth until 1913. We don't have to have an income tax. Our life and our efforts and our talents, our souls do not need to have a lien put on them by narcissistic freaks in the global swamp. Usury interest. Many nations, United States, United Arab Emirates, Middle East, interest is illegal. They're just not allowed to be charged because it's usury. You have to create more money out of thin air in order to charge the interest and pay people ungodly interest rates, which is earned through our time, effort, and labor and our life. We have to give more of our life to pay interest on something that a bank issued that cost the bank nothing to issue. But then we have to work like crazy and pay 8 or 9% on a mortgage for 30 years to a banker who printed money out of nowhere, and they get their capital back plus interest. It's insane. The clawback. How long and for how many generations have we all worked as tax slaves and debt slaves? How long have they harvested our life, our talent, our blessings, our energy, our efforts, and taken it away through inflation and debasement and taxation and registration and interest? Where are those hoarded riches stored now? Why do 1% of the people own 99% of the wealth? So when this is rectified, and it will be rectified, when we go back to a fair monetary system, there's a lot of scumbags, a lot of narcissists that have stolen our wealth. We're going to get it back. It's going to be redistributed. Lastly, free energy. Think of the concept. Global warming's a lie. Energy is abundant. Nikola Tesla proved it. We could have wireless. We could have electric. We could have in the ether sphere, in the atmosphere, we could have free communications and free energy without there being a meter attached to what is already abundantly free. Think about the amount of wealth that pours back into we the people in every nation on earth if energy was free and we didn't fight wars over it, and we didn't believe the lies that we're running out of energy and humans are the biggest threat to planet Earth. What follows this video is a 10-minute clip, the Modern Era Beast System. Please, 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 I pray that you'll watch this 10-minute clip. Special shout out to Michael Corey. He shared this movie with me. I've clipped out about 10 minutes of a hour and 40-minute documentary that Michael shared with me. I will link below the entire video. But I clicked 10 minutes to reinforce the last 10 minutes or 12 minutes I've just spoken with you about this very topic. Please understand, when we say, or you hear the concept, follow the money, that's what this entire war is about. He who owns the gold rules the world. He who creates the money rules the world. They buy the militaries. They buy the media networks. They fund the pharmaceutical companies. They train the children. They run the courts. They create the narrative because they own all the assets to create the narrative. We are in a narrative war. And when we understand that, we understand who we are and whose we are, we'll start to get our agency back, we'll get our authority back, we'll get our dominion back, we'll get our ability to self-govern, we'll understand that they flipped the tables on us and they decided that we were the property and they were the owners of the property, and nothing could be further from the truth. So I love you all. I hope this little narrative has helped maybe bring some light or some clarity or some understanding. Please comment below if you'd like to share your insights or have any questions for me. God bless and Happy New Year.